Let's take XRP first. XRP is the native asset to the public blockchain, the XRP ledger. So inherently, it has a use case in terms of gas fees.
The biggest one was the overt confiscation. And I don't really think that it's a coincidence that, what did you have? You had a market crash.
So my wish is that we get to a place where there's a regulatory framework such that we can deploy blockchain throughout capital markets. I believe it's a better technology for what we're trying to do.
With maybe dirty motives all over again, but perhaps a chance to reset.
We filed as soon as we could after the old SEC regime left, and the 75 days effectiveness took place on Saturday. So we seeded yesterday, which was Monday, and launched today.
And it's really just U.S. versus China, and a lot of people will side with us. Some people side with China. The markets will stabilize a little bit.
They try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I'll be getting plenty. They want all your bags, and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? If you got a baggie, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We got XRP currently right around $2.05. We got Uphold to pop things off. SEC Crypto Task Force Roundtable, crypto trading and regulations currently live. We got the real sologenic during today's SEC roundtable. Richard Johnson emphasized the way forward is blockchain as the official record of ownership, smart contracts for settlement, and stable coins for cash legs. It's better technology for the capital markets. So it begins.
Richard, you're up.
So my wish is that we get to a place where there's a regulatory framework such that we can deploy blockchain throughout capital markets. I believe it's a better technology for what we're trying to do. With blockchain, you have a complete record of securities ownership and transaction history, and it's designed for transfer of value. So much of the things that we do in equities, fixed income, and so forth today. And the way that we get there, or the way we start to get there, is let's use the blockchain as the official record of ownership for securities. Let's use smart contracts for settlement. And let's use stable coins or tokenized treasuries for the cash leg of security settlements as well. There's three.
XRP, faster, cheaper, more efficient, 24/7, 365. The floodgates are opening. U.S. Securities and Exchange Acting Chairman Mark Ueda remarks at the Crypto Task Force Roundtable. While the commission works to develop a long-term solution to address issues in crypto trading regulation, a time-limited conditional exemptive relief framework for registrants and non-registrants could allow for the greater innovation with blockchain technology within the United States in the near term. I encourage market participants that are developing new ways to trade securities using blockchain technology to provide input on where exemptive reliefs may be appropriate. That regulation jar of molasses is about to burst open. Monica Long, in case you missed it earlier this week, Ripple partnered with the BCG to bring you the latest in tokenization research, forecasting an incredible growth at 18.9 trillion market by 2033. And what's going to get us to that point? Global standards, investment in robust custody infrastructure. The message is clear for financial institutions embedding token-based models into their operations. Now can unlock new revenue streams, reach new client segments, and stay relevant to the most advanced users in the market. Read more below. 2033.6 trillion to 18.9 trillion shift. Taking a look at the altcoin seasoned index, currently at a 14, and Bitcoin season, we need to be above a 75 for it to be a full-blown altcoin season. Still waiting for alt season to return to the ultimate peak at a 98, 99. Subject views: Ripple now owns a prime brokerage clearing $3 trillion yearly. This doubles down on XRP as a bridge currency. While Hidden Road integrates RUSD stablecoins for collateral, XRP remains the key for settling transactions on the XRP ledger. It's all about utility, and this move will turbocharge XRP's institutional use. Banks, institutions, enterprises on their way to pump our bags up.
We've always been believers in a multi-chain, multi-token future. And so we think that different tokens and different chains, for that matter, are useful at different times for different use cases. Let's take XRP first. XRP is the native asset to the public blockchain, the XRP ledger. So inherently, it has a use case in terms of gas fees, as well as for reserve accounts. So that will always be there, and the more that the ledger is used by more developers, more end users, you see demand for that token going up. In addition, a really novel thing about XRP was, as the ledger was created, it had a decentralized exchange built into it, and so trades within that decentralized exchange that don't have immediate liquidity between them auto-bridge through XRP. So this is where we've talked about it as a real bridge asset. And even beyond the Ripple payments use cases, so within our payments product, by the way, we still do use XRP as well as stable coins, and it kind of depends on the customer's use case and what's most efficient. I will say, yes, we see a lot of growth within stable coins for our payments product this year. But as more types of developers build products, either within the XRP Ledger ecosystem or other chains, this DEX feature and using XRP for liquidity will be a bigger and bigger use case.
XRP, the XRP Ledger, the premier blockchain for the utility era, all the money, all the value. Eleanor Terrett, new SEC Gov, has handed over the Office of Inspector General's ethics investigation into former corporation finance director Bill Hinman to Watchdog Group Empower US, which has sued the agency for access to the findings. In short, the SEC Inspector General concluded that Hinman did not violate any criminal conflict of interest laws or internal ethics rules during his time at the SEC. I had filed an FOIA request to receive a copy of this report back in December, but the agency told me that recently, as this past Monday, they were still consulting with the SEC staff regarding the accessibility of the report. You can read the 10-page report shared by Empower Oversight here. John Squire, the SEC, dropped the manual, clear rules, clear message. Crypto isn't going away. XRP holders knew it all along. The best is still yet to come. Crawl, walk. Then we rock it. We got the digital asset investor gold confiscation, revaluation on the table. Crypto was created for this moment.
The biggest one was the overt confiscation. And I don't really think that it's a coincidence that, what did you have? You had a market crash, you had the tariffs put in place, and after that, you had the gold confiscation. Sound money gold was confiscated from the public in 1933. In 1934, there was a 69% overnight revaluation of dollars to gold. Good thing Treasury Secretary Wooten and others in the know could continue to hold and accumulate tangible pre-33 gold coins. But what did the public have to protect their wealth when they took all the gold away? Nothing. And that's where we are right now. We have nothing to protect our wealth except we can position back into physical gold and silver. So those in the know continue to hold and actually accumulate pre-33 gold coins. But others flew to gold mining stocks, which seriously outperformed the Dow, but it was frankly the only way to buy gold back then. And I think it's very interesting that in 1932, there was a rapid rise in gold mining stocks before the 1933 confiscation. Interesting. Do you think that that was just a coincidence? Or did those in the know get into position ahead of the 1933 gold confiscation? We're never really going to know the answer to that. It's just a thought. But I see this kind of behavior over and over and over again. That's why understanding the patterns are so critically important, because it gives us, the public, a heads up to what's the next most likely outcome. We don't have to wait until it's too late to do anything. So how are the 2025 President Trump tariffs different than the 1930 Smoot-Hawley tariffs? And what do the patterns tell us to do? Frankly, they want us to think this time is different. Time will tell if that's true. But there do seem to be so many parallels right up front. Yet there is one key difference. 1913 through 1933 was the beginning of this paper money fiat system, moving the public from directly holding sound money with a tool to take power back, because if you did not like what the government or the central banks were doing, you could walk in with one, either a gold certificate or a Federal Reserve note, and walk out with the gold, creating the restriction. But the reality is gold is above all central banks and governments because it cannot be inflated away. There's thousands of years of history that prove that, and that's just because it has the broadest base of functionality and the broadest base of demand.
Mr. Man XRP promoting chords and XRP. SBI expanding the range of use of planning and adoption at Expo 2025 Japan. If you follow me for this long, I've been trying to inform you that all the R3 had not stopped using XRP, that the court case, just like the SEC case, is smoke and mirrors. We got rich culture. Key dates of interest for ISO 20022 token holders, especially SHX. There's a reason Stronghold Pay acquired 20022 Labs and why they posted about Fedwire yesterday. Key ISO 20022 deadlines in 2025. May 1st, 2025, CHAPS. Enhanced data requirements, July 14th, 2025. Fedwire US ISO goes live. November 22nd, 2025, SWIFT. SBPR plus MT-ISO coexistence ends. Another one from Mr. Man. Will digital currencies allow the opportunity for a reset?
You know, is our digital currencies going to provide in any way, shape or form the disruptive element that breaks a stalemate and perhaps starts a whole new conversation with maybe dirty motives all over again, but perhaps a chance to reset?
John Deaton, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Let me introduce you to the printer. Watch your guru, Justin. Top Fed official says the Federal Reserve is ready to help stabilize the market if needed. Cointelegraph, new Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson thinks Bitcoin will reach 250,000 by the end of this year or next year.
No, I think Bitcoin will be over 250,000 by the end of this year or next year.
What's going to drive that, do you think?
What'll happen is that the tariff stuff will be a dud, and then people will realize that the world is willing to negotiate, and it's really just US versus China, and a lot of people will side with us, some people side with China. The markets will stabilize a little bit, and they'll get used to the new normal.
Smoke Dog, Techrium CEO, the XRP ETF was our most successful launch day to date for fun we've ever done. Institutional investors are eager to acquire XRP through their preferred investment vehicles.
Jump right in here. You did just launch the first XRP ETF in the US. I'm just curious, how did day one go? I know there's still a little bit of time until market close here as we record this, but what have you seen thus far?
A terrific response. There was overwhelming excitement. I think a lot because we were overlooked. I mean, we made our filing and it was largely ignored. We were the only people to file with a ticker, and for whatever reason, it just was passed over, and it kind of took people by surprise. We filed as soon as we could after the old SEC regime left, and the 75 days effectiveness took place on Saturday. So we seeded yesterday, which was Monday, and launched today. I think it's almost a couple 100,000 shares. It's been a terrific, very successful launch. Our most successful launch day to date for any fund we've ever done.
We got Mustache altcoins. The best part of the cycle is yet to come. Nobody said it would be easy, and 90% are now bearish. I hope you're still a bull. At Grad Crypto, XRP targeting $19 or $45. I'm not improvising here. I'm relying on historical data to present the future predictions. Will it rhyme exactly? No, because if it were that easy, everyone would be multi-millionaires. Analyzing the 21 EMA and the 33 MA. While these indicators may not show preemptive actions before a crash, they confirm we are in a bear market, indicating a curving bottoming structure after 777 days and 770 mark before a bullish cross. Looking at the past blow-off tops, in 2017, the price found heavy support at the 21 EMA and experienced the last blow-off top. In 2021, the price breached both the 21 EMA and the 33 and then pump, resulting in a final leg that marked the cycle's blow-off top. XRP mimics the move. Now here's my measured move. If XRP mimics either of these cycles, we could see the price movement of 2,700% or 1,050%, putting XRP around $45 or $19. While my targets have always been $27, please remember the DCA dollar sell average. If you need money, XRP Army, stay ready, stay strong. And the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP. Rishless, Moon Party right around the corner, 4/26, 2025, the 4th edition. Shout out to DCENT Wallets, Ooga Labs, IMU TV, Rich Ducks Crypto Club, and the Bluminati family. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? To catch you up here on the mothership, I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander. Don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button, BYOB. Bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play round here. Moon suit on or you get sprayed round here. Watch where you walk and you